Probably should run some just like chill maps, but these don't really have a lot of extra stuff on them. But it'll let us get to some towers. Kind of see what's going on. But we're gonna see how this feels. I'm dropping the shield. I usually like to have a shield on, but we're going a little bit different route. My damage will be a lot heavier because of this. And I'm just trying to see if our armor has reached the point where we're tanky enough to deal with it. Elemental damage is fine, I think. What gets weird is chaos damage, and so like breaches can still be weird, and then the degen effects that we have can be weird too. So we'll see. Like from Abyss? We'll see. But I'm hoping it's good enough to like kind of deal with it. Do I have a new link for the build? Not yet, no. What we're doing right now is we're testing stuff out. This is going to be an experimental thing, but if it goes well, then yeah, I'd like to update it. Really, the only thing that I changed, so we made the build link right, and then what we did with that one is we went down into the armor is Ellie damage reduction too, and like the kind of the bottom middle of the tree. That's really all I pathed to with my extra points that I had. And then pick up like jewel sockets. That's like the first version of the build, right? That was good. But now we're gonna be doing some experimentation with some slightly different stuff. Just gonna see how good our armor really is. Maybe pop a little Sunder in here too, just because I've been wanting to use Sunder, see how it feels. We were trying Stampede, but every time I go away from Leap Bone Shatter, I'm just like, man, Leap Bone Shatter is so nice. So, kind of just want to do that. But I am down to Sunder a little bit. And I'm also still down to HOTG. Even if the hammer's not going to be quite as much AoE as before. Elite Bone Shatter just feels so solid for clear. Can't get away from it. I mean, I don't really want to either, but I've given myself a chance to try getting away from it. Uh-oh, that's not good. Yeah, these guys can't have extra chaos damage. That's not going to work. These guys are freaky enough as it is. They don't need extra chaos damage. Plenty freaky as it is. What? He just ran away from my hammer. Outplayed. Oh my gosh, he's got plant hammers. Oh, okay. Dark Domain. That's different than the Abyss, isn't it? That's something different. I've never seen a Dark Domain before. Oh, snap. Okay. Never seen a Dark Domain, but yeah, I will make a... Is this what I've seen before? No, we've seen Dark Domains. Is this different? I thought it was called Abyssal Death. Is the Dark Domain different or no? I will make a new build update for it though. But right now we don't have it right now. It just fell over. What happened there? Because we're in the doing an experiment phase right now. We gotta see what's going on, see how it feels, you know. So when we also split up my skills a little bit more than I did before. We did like a little bit more of a dual talent setup. And it feels okay. I just want to make sure that we're not getting ourselves in a sketchy situation because I do favor tankiness a lot. What's up, Slope? But I also am excited to make a build update for you guys. I know that we haven't been only playing PoE recently. So we've been like, we've been doing PoE and WoW, but since we're not playing only PoE, it's kind of hard for me to make the build updates like first thing in the day. And if I don't make them first thing in the day, then they're a little harder to make. But we're also just still experimenting. All I was really doing was just leveling my character, and I hadn't really changed a whole lot. I was just still doing Leap Bone Shatter with the shield and bringing up the two-hander for like the Hammer of the Gods. And we're still kind of doing that, but we did make our first like kind of big-ish purchase that changes the character a little bit and his pathing a little bit. We got that that freaky Abyss Jewel that it's like a timeless jewel. It changes your tree a little bit. Because that's one place you can get a lot of crazy regen. So we're trying that out, and we're going to see how we like it. Because we can get kind of tanky for damage reduction, I think. But the regeneration part was kind of... We need more of that, because the thing that kills us is like the dot, the damage over time stuff. So we'll see. Well, thanks, Lucas. Yo, you're doing great, man. And I got to give a shout out to my guy, Carnarius. I love checking out his builds, and I hadn't looked at him yet because I knew that I kind of wanted to just kind of feel my own way a little bit. But I did want to check out what he was up to now that we've kind of reached a point with our character where it's like, yeah, we're about ready for that first transition, and I think that we were doing something similar, doing some like big armor, and to my surprise, he's doing armor with Bone Shatter, Leap Slam, and I'm like, dude. I never thought we would get Carnarius off of Leap Slamming for clear, but he's doing Leap Slam, Bone Shatter, and armor stacking, so I'm like, my guy. But he's a little bit ahead of me for sure in the progression, and he's grabbing this, grabbing the jewel as well. So I was like, all right, we're on the right track. Now we need to farm up some more divines so we can get the support jewel that scales damage based off of how much life you spend. Oh no, I think this is different. I think this is different. Okay, let's see if we can... Ooh, what is this?
Let's see if you still bleed.
I don't know if I'm ready for this. We'll see. First time seeing this dude. Drop the hammer on him and see how it goes. Okay, nice. Yeah, I guess we were ready for that. Good. I guess we were ready for that one. That all he dropped? Alright, we got an invitation to Kulamak. Yeah, I got the boss lair. That's sick. I hadn't got one of those yet. Big flex for you, Blood Rage. That's awesome. Yeah, we handled that. The Dark Lair. First one. We took him out real quick. It's just kind of got a key to the big boss now. We can go fight Kulamak, huh? Maybe we'll do that right off the bat then today. That's awesome. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my guy overall.
Come here.
We're still doing a lot of the same stuff I was before. It's just we actually are moving away from as heavy investment in the slams as a Titan, and we actually just got more armor from our chest piece. But we still proc the triple hammer. Like, we get the seismic hammer, and then it's just like a 50-50. Whether the hammer drops a third time. It looked like it did, but we're still slamming. And I'm doing a little bit less focus on war cries to buff my damage, because I think all we really need is the hammer to hit hard. And that lets us put more investment in our defenses on the tree, which lets me kind of more comfortably just use two-handers to buff our damage. Because I have two one-handers that are decent. We have weapon skills, attack speed, decent Viz damage on it. One of them even penetrates damage, or it penetrates fire resistance. If we wanted to go fire at some point, that's just what the Abyss rolled. It was like, it either added fire damage, or it gave, like, damage with elemental damage or whatever, or fire pen. And I was like, I guess we're doing fire pen. That'll do. So, that's what I did. But the damage definitely feels upgraded. We're using two one-handers right now, and we even have skill speed in the one-handers too. I found these like those little runes. I guess they're not that expensive, but I thought they used to be expensive. And then I saw them on sale for like nothing at the beginning of the league, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna grab that while I can. And so we did, and so I had a couple of them laying around, and I thought now was the time to bust them out, so here we are. But it's fast, it's nice. But I do gotta give a big shout out to Carnarius being a great source of figuring out, like, okay, or how are we doing? Doing all right. We're doing all right. Let's see, I think we're done this map anyway. It's funny that we do tend to like to play similar things, so that's cool. But I guess I can give you guys like a quick update of where we're at. Just because we started the stream with it. Do you guys want to have like a quick run through? Even if things are in kind of like a testing phase, you guys want to see where we're at? We already kind of been talking about it, already kind of got it started, right? So why not? I'm leveling in campaign and using one-handed shield for leap shatter. It feels so good, space time. That's what I only just now have like barely transitioned away from that. So I don't use Mace Strike, but when I do, I have it at least like bound, or like if I did have it bound, it would be this, right? I mean, it's just random, just like Rage, Heavy Swing, 2 leeches, a concentrated area for more damage. You might just want to crank up attack speed and damage, but that's just what I have now randomly. Rolling Slam, I'm still using Aftershock, Fist of War 2, Heavy Swing. I actually put Brutality in there to make it cost more, so that I regen more. And Armor Break. So before I get started with everything else, what I'm talking about is this thing. So Undying Hate, you have to make sure you get the one where it's Tribute to Tech Rod. This cost me 500 exalts. I've seen it for cheaper, but I've also seen it for more expensive, so I just grabbed one while I could. But you need the one that gives souls and tribute to Tech Rod, because this jewel will change your talents in the radius differently depending on who it's giving tribute to. But this one gives you Sacrifice of Blood. You regenerate 1 life per second per 8 life spent in the past 8 seconds. But it's 50% more life cost of skills. So a couple of days ago we were getting annoyed with mana, and so we swapped to Blood Magic, which I like Blood Magic anyway. But then this synergizes so nicely with what happens with warriors when you go Blood Magic, right? So a lot of what happens with Blood Magic, or just in warriors in general, is you like to stack plus skills. So you can get plus skills in your amulet. We have 3. You can get plus skills on your gloves. I have 2, and you can get plus skills on your weapons. I think these ones could go up to maybe 5 because it's tier 2, and it's plus 4. So you get melee skills on weapons, gloves, necklace, and that makes your damage go up by quite a bit, but it also makes the cost of the skills go up quite a bit. So things can be kind of expensive. If I just sit here and press Bone Shatter, like, my health will drain, right? But what'll end up happening is my regen will start kicking up, because we're spending a lot of health, and so we're regenerating 1,000 health per second right now. Now, you're not really doing this in battle, but you get the idea, and then you add that with the Consecrated Ground effect on your Leap Slam as well. And you're regenerating like 1,200 life per second sometimes, which is cool. So spending a lot of health causes you to regen more health quickly. So attack speed ends up really synergizing well with this. You're leap slamming between packs, you're just blasting, you're just rolling through. And the more that you're spending health, the more regen that you're getting. And so you end up kind of having strong defense from your armor stacking, because you have a ton of armor, which gives you phys reduction. Then you have all the elemental damage reduction from the armor effect as well, from your tree and from your gear. And so you end up being a little bit tankier, and this is addressing that thing. The one thing that's killing us is like chaos damage, of course, but then all of, like, the really nasty degen effects from the abyss can kill you too. And so the idea with this is to try to help us regen through that. And this is the first time I've really put the jewel in and been wanting to give it a try. So hold on. Can be desecrated 4 times. Oh, okay. Well, maybe desecration changes it. What is this? Can be desecrated 4 times. I don't know what that means. I'm scared to desecrate it. Anyway, I just now read that. But anyway, this is our first time trying this out. But the idea is to be very durable, take not very much damage from hits due to the armor, and the armor applying to Ellie reduction, and then having lots of regen as well. So that's why we are trying to scale the cost of our skills, because there's also this support gem that I don't know if it's like bugged or what, but it's also very expensive. It's the Atalui's Bloodletting. So skill mana cost converted to life cost, which we already do, and supported skills gain 2% of damage as extra physical damage per 10 life costs. So that thing is insane. I don't know if there's any available. Okay, there's one available for 700 exalts, 739 chaos. I don't even have a divine currently, but like, if we had a divine, how much would that be? Like 10D So that's pretty expensive. We're gonna have to wait on that, but we have like part of that in there, right? The first expense was that. So anyway, we are spending a good amount of life on these skills with things like Fist of War. Adding in brutality adds it up a little bit. I mean, you could even try to just find more of it, but that makes it cost a little bit more life, which just kind of contributes to our in-battle regen, which is cool. We're doing that with a lot of our skills. So I have Scavenged Plating. This is to allow us to gain armor when we fully break enemies' armor. I have it socket with Prolonged Duration, with Precision 2, and with Vitality 1. I just don't want to miss. And I have it up here because when I switch to my two-hander, I don't have enough dexterity to have all the gems. So this one works, this one works, this one works. This one does not work. It's disabled, but you can change which ones still work by dragging them up, which is cool. So Scavenged Plating is one of our buffs. I still use Seismic Cry to get that guaranteed aftershock on a stunned enemy against like bosses. Infernal Cry, just a little bit of a damage buff. I use this for the, just the same thing, mostly just against big enemies before I slam them. Hammer of the Gods, we're using that to try to set up a nice big aftershock with Fist of War buff, with Brutality buff, with Heavy Swing buff, with Rage Forged, and then aftershock. So this thing has a 57% chance to aftershock because I took points out of the Titan aftershock, which hurt my feelings a little bit to do that, but it was good. And how do you handle early Act 2 mana issues? You just gotta press your flask. It's tough. You gotta press that mana flask. But yeah, it can be kind of annoying. Leap Slam, we have Brink. This is like super nice. You get this in around Act 2. It makes it so enemies can't be heavy stunned by Leap Slam. And you may also eventually run into the issue where your Leap Slam is killing things. If that's the case, then what you can do is start using the like later in the game, you use things that cause the skill to actually do less damage in exchange for some other effect. So we have Stun, which makes it stun more, but do less damage. We have Magnified Area 2, which makes it have more AoE, but less damage. And we have Rapid Attacks, which makes it do more attack speed, but less damage. We also could invest into more life cost on Leap Slam, but I'd rather just have Leap Slam being casted faster, and we'll generate more regen by just casting it more frequently. And then we have a lot of regen in Holy Descent. I really love it, because Bone Shatter, you land and you Bone Shatter, even if you roll out of the Leap Slam, you're kind of still in the area and you Bone Shatter, and you're still standing in your buff like when you land, so you have this really nice regen spot where you're doing your kind of big hit. Bone Shatter, Impact Shockwave to make another Shockwave on top of your Shockwave. Hey bro, heard you like Shockwaves? We do. Big damage in that AoE. Magnified Area for more AoE. Ancestral Call for more like coverage, I think is a better way of putting that. You spawn like copies of yourself. So you leap in, you kind of prime an area of enemies for stun. Instead of just whacking one and having it proliferate, your guys will like spread out a little bit and whack other guys, and then everything explodes. It's like more AoE that way, it feels like. And I'm just using, again, I was using Heavy Swing, but I'm using Brutality in a lot of these areas now, because Brutality costs a little bit more. And it does, because I have no real Ellie damage on my guy right now that much. We have just more cost and more damage. I think it actually does a teeny bit less damage than Heavy Swing, but it's all, you can also say it has a little bit less damage but more attack speed if you want to think of it that way. And then I'm armor breaking on Bone Shatter for like the AoE continual Bone Shatter, but the continued Scavenged Plating effect for when I'm mapping, and then Rolling Slam is how I get armor break on like a boss. So like if we're fighting one strong enemy, we'll make sure we have armor break on the boss to make sure we keep our armor up. And I've been experimenting with Sunder. I kind of glazed over Sunder, but I've been experimenting with Sunder a little bit. It's an attack I've really liked in the past. It does a ton of damage, like 1,500, 1,600% increase, like, or percent damage. Like, what the heck? That's insane, isn't it? What's this attack doing? A 1,700. It's still doing a ton, but anyway. Since we are armor breaking just for the Scavenged Plating, we can at least make use of the armor broken effect from Sunder to make it do like shredded armor or sundered armor, which makes them take even more damage. So I'm not sure if it's that good or not, but it does damage. It's kind of like an extra debuff. You can use it on a boss if you feel like it. I'm not really committed to it, but I have it in the build right now. There's some other things that could be cool, but right now that's just what I'm doing. I really like the idea that Carnarius has put together, where he was doing this on his other build before, where he was using Nebulock to get a guaranteed crit. He was doing it on Shield Charge, now he's using a Shield Wall for that. And then you can do crit damage scaling. And one of the fun things about crit damage scaling for Warrior is that if you decide to go to these nodes where it's crit damage bonus, it does make your skills cost more. So you do that kind of thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's gonna mean more physical damage when you put that little Adaluis in there, and then also more healing potentially too. So that's some really powerful stuff right there on the shield, like explosion, the shield wall skills. But right now I'm just doing Sunder and Hammer the Gods. It's still working for me. If we want something that's less stun dependent, we could do something like that. And then down here at the bottom, Herald of Ash is fun for clear. I don't think we need Herald of Ash anymore. And Berserk is just nice, just a lot more rage effect. So you get 2/3 increased rage effect. You are degenning life, but we have a lot of life regen, so it might be okay. If you feel more comfortable with Herald of Ash, I think that's fine too. If you don't have your regen put together. But that's the skills that I've got right now. Again, the main combo is Leap, Slam, Bone Shattering, and Maps. Once you get to a strong enemy, like a rare, you usually can just kill them with like one, like, you know, Infernal Cry, Rolling Slam. If they're still alive after that, their armor's probably broken, you can Sunder them. If they don't die after that, keep rolling, slamming. If it's a big, like, scary pack of mobs, you can pop your stuff and then drop the hammer on them, and that still is pretty good. Even though my Hammer of the Gods situation is a little bit less, it's a little bit less AoE than before, but more actual damage. So if I wanted more AoE, I'd probably take out like Heavy Swing or Rage Forge, but Heavy Swing is fine. And I would pop in the Magnified effect again, just for more AoE in a map. All right. In terms of the talents, some things have changed quite a bit. Earthshatter, Hammer of the Gods, that's solid, yeah. Earthshatter to stun and then drop the hammer on him with after the Warcry combo, definitely. So I've changed my talent tree a little bit. Everything was fine before. We're just experimenting. We're transitioning the build, and I think that all I really did for my other guy setup was I went down here and grabbed this for like level 92, and then I think I also went up here and grabbed this stuff to go Blood Magic. And then after that, I got a Jewel Socket, and then I probably would have gotten another Jewel Socket for level 95. But having said that, we did take out the Warcry stuff, and I'm trying to think of what else we subtracted from the build. We took out the Warcry stuff, and for my mapping build, I did take out all of this kind of like single target damage stuff, even though I loved these. Those are so fun. But anyway, let's just walk you through what I'm actually doing right now. So we're still taking Hulking form, of course. Extra strength, the inventory into Hulking form, so insane. Increase effective small passive skills is awesome. Especially once I get some timeless jewels, it'll make it even more fun. But we're rocking extra life, and then instead of the aftershocks, which I love the extra AoE, I love the aftershock. We are grabbing the armor instead just to be that much more tanky. We're trying to really push the durability right here. Giant's Blood is definitely not necessary. It may be worth it, but it's not necessary. I just don't have enough strength to do it, and I like the speed of one-handers. I've been doing it so far, and it's been working, so maybe if we become, like, extremely powerful, we can do Titan's Grip later, but, or Giant's Blood. Just haven't needed to. What we're doing right now, though, is going through the melee damage. If we wanted to shave points, we could go through the armor and life regen, which would be kind of cool. But for now, we're still going through the top. Grabbing Brutal for stun buildup and damage, strength. Definitely grabbing the armor, synergizes nicely with this. Armor regen is awesome, some strength is awesome. We used to be over here for a little bit more AoE and regen, and I liked that a lot. Just not there now. But we're going for a little bit of AoE and armor break here. We are breaking armor now, so this becomes a little bit more worth it. Still coming over the top for the just good old melee damage and damage to stun enemies is fine. Coming through here. I'm still using this for now. I may eventually change this out too, though. But I like the attack speed just fine. The dexterity allows me to use some of the green gems I like to use, which is fine. But yeah, we might not even need like that. Like Maim is kind of cool. It does slow reduce, you know, their evasion and stuff. It's okay. But this might get changed eventually. But anyway, for now, we're taking this for one-hander build. We're taking this for two-hander build. Grabbing this armor. So, I mean, like, you know, armor is the name of the game here for our defenses. Armor is giving us even more elemental damage reduction than it is physical at this point by a good amount. So we want armor. Stun threshold's great. Coming down here for more armor against crits and more strength, which is awesome. Grabbing a jewel socket. My jewels right now are not very good, but armor, life regen, block chance. Don't even have a shield anymore, so that's definitely not doing anything for us. But rage on melee hit is okay. I am coming down here for the extra armor and armor applying to fire damage. I like that combo. This also reduces the magnitude of ignite on you, which is cool. We are coming over here for the good old attack damage, reduced attack damage, but reduced attack speed, but big stun build up and attack damage is super nice. I'm just gonna pop up here because we did start to branch a little bit, right? We had to. I still have stun threshold and strength here. I like the max life. I like the stun threshold just in general, but we could probably take this out. I don't know if we really need the stun threshold anymore, but there's really no other places to get more life, so I've been thinking about that. This is also, we've been really enjoying my character being fast, and I've been super annoyed by temp chains and the, like, chilled ground. If we can keep moving and keep attacking, then we can stay alive, I think, is kind of how it feels to me. And reducing the effective slowing effects on us is nice. Again, it will be even better once we get a good timeless jewel to put, like, on in all of this juice. That'd be sweet. Like, more armor would be awesome on a timeless jewel with buffing the stuff. Oh, and this is another funny little innovation. Again, we got to give Carnaris a shout out. We have been on the same page on so much stuff. This is so nice. Inherent Rage Loss starts 1.5 seconds later. I mean, that can give you a pretty big window, and we can even grab more if we want to, but we do like Berserk, we do like Rage, and this gives you just a nice little bit of a window to kind of leap between packs without your Rage degenning, which is awesome. I used to go over the top for this one, but I just decided to go into the area instead again. But I do like the increased area for attacks and the life. Aftershocks are still somewhat useful to me, so I am using it. But we could go over the top if we wanted to save a point, but I don't really have anywhere particularly pressing for my mapping build. Right now, the mapping build is weapon set 1, or the reddish lines. Weapon set 2 is my kind of like two-hander, heavier damage setup, which is the green lines. We're going through here to get the armor applying to various elemental damages, lightning here, cold here. Since I took the fire nodes down here, I'm not taking them here, but if we had a timeless jewel here, it could probably synergize pretty nicely here. We are going up for this. We're taking more armor if you've been hit recently, more armor, and then defending with more armor against projectile attacks, which is great, in addition to 30% more armor, or increased armor. Since we're here already, I do like this node. We're getting a lot of the AoE nodes that we've enjoyed in the past by spreading out a little bit. I think Titan really likes a more compressed tree, but there's just some things we have to get right now. So we're going for AoE, more AoE, and then we have, for my single target setup, we have the close damage, so we get real close and drop a hammer right on their face for more damage from close range. And of course, blood magic, right? We talked about how blood magic works for us, but I also I hate mana, and blood magic feels great once you get enough regen. All right, so over here, we're popping up into this on both talent setups. We have more armor. This is like 27% increased armor is so much. Then we have a little bit of percent of physical damage presented recouped as life. This can be like 100 to 100 regen per second. So I mean, it's not nothing. And then you could also buff it with these regen nodes. If we just wanted to pop them in there, we could. And then we have the strength, 150% of strength requirement from boots and gloves and helmet added to armor, which is great. We're looking for that flat armor to scale with all of our percent increased armor. Now we still have this stuff for the kind of hammer one-shot setup, right? We have damage with maces, chance to aftershock with maces, and then damage to heavy stun enemies, which is great. I am empowering our attacks, so we're doing the ancestral boosted just for the damage, not the AoE, which kind of sucks for maps. I loved having that AoE on there, but it'll be fine. I think we're also stronger to single target damage within our rolling slam now anyway, so it's okay. We come down here, grab the armor and all of our armor applying to all elemental damage. Get all of that juice right there. We have another jewel socket, which this jewel socket is just armor. Again, minions doing nothing for us, but life regenerate, rage on melee hit. This one is armor, stun buildup, increased attack damage, and 2 rage when hit. So we have 2 sources of rage on hit and 2 sources of rage when hit. That's kind of nice. We don't have we took rage out of our leap slam, so we have to generate rage that way, but it's all good. We come down here, we are grabbing this stuff, converts all evasion rating to armor. I don't have that much evasion rating, but it was like 300, so it's 300 more armor. And then I also have just more armor scaling here, and then the neat little thing you can do to get 1 evasion per armor on your equipped gloves. So my gloves only have 200 armor, but again, this combo, this right here and this right here gives me another 500 armor. And then you scale it a little bit more too, so it's like, we take that. Then we have to path up to this area, and this is a good way to do it. So we go more AoE, increase AoE here with cooldown reduction, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's like for war cries, I guess, it's fine. Then you come up here, a little bit more AoE, damage, that is, and then strength, all the way into getting regen when we spend health. That's where we're at right now. In terms of my gear, I think we probably made some gains on the gear. And what's up? We're doing a quick build update. I was like, man, I don't think we're gonna do a build update until I'm actually tested this stuff out. But I can show you guys where we're at for today. That'll be kind of convenient, right? We've got just added fizz, attack speed, and melee skills on this weapon. That's pretty much what we want. We got this one for this kind of the same idea. Increased damage, attack speed, melee skills. And then we bought it with one spot open, and it really wanted to roll elemental stuff. It rolled with elemental damage, it added fire damage, or damage with this attacks of this weapon penetrate fire res. You know, it could have been like the accuracy fizz hybrid like this one had, but it didn't get it. But I mean, it's all good. Still fine with the weapon skills and attack speed and decent fizz damage. So that's okay. That's kind of what I'm looking for on weapons, is fizz, attack speed, like big fizz, attack speed, and weapon skills right now. My two-hander, I've had this forever. This is just big fizz and a little bit of attack speed. It's got nothing really to it. Definitely would like to get some weapon skills on, or melee skills on my weapon to drop a heavier hammer. But that's what we got for now. It still does a little bit more damage than the dual-wield version. Although I do kind of wonder if I should do the dual-wield version of the Hammer of the Gods. I should try it just to see if it does like similar damage, just attacks a little faster, so I can maybe get the attack off better during a stun. I have to figure out how to use the same set as part of like I'll tinker with it, but you can use these two weapons for set 1 and 2. It's possible, but for now I just have this, but I might do that. I'll figure that out. For my helmet, we want life, resists armor, and then armor applies to elemental damage for like everything. Would be awesome. And here we go. Let's go, bro. I'm loving the new league, man. Having a blast. Big flex for you. Pumping us up, man. Thank you so much, dude. Hitting us with it. Let's go, man. Support for the PoE content means a lot to me, man. It means we get to keep doing it, so thank you. Ideally, like, I think all of my armor will have life, resistances, armor applies to elemental damage, and strength. And then you probably have like the hybrid roll on there. Like kind of like this one does. Like armor. Yeah, like armor, like flat armor, percent armor, life. And then strength, armor applies, and then a resist. That's a good helmet. I'd rather have strength and intelligence, but that's okay. That's a pretty good helmet. And we're still using, I think 2 soul cores to get my chaos res going the right way. For my necklace, I'm still allocating Titanic. I've always done that. I just like Titanic. Stun build up and stun threshold are both fine. Percent strength is not that important because we don't really stack strength that hard right now, but it's kind of like, it's a little bit of HP. It's like probably only 10 strength, how much I have. So it really is not that good. We could probably do Hail Heart for something that's like the same price range, and it would help our regen. We have other options too, but that's what I'm doing right now. Anyway, it's a bunch of life. Mana doesn't do anything for me, but it is +3 melee skills, a resist, life regen, and rarity is like, okay, sure. We drop some divines sometimes. We take those. That'll work. That'll work. Ring. This is a pretty cool ring. It gives me accuracy, which is fine. It gives max life, rarity, intelligence. Again, I'd rather that be strength, all res, and fire res. And then we have it qualityed up to give me more life modifiers, which is great. That's fine. Whole bunch of life on there. This ring, we found this one. It's chaos res, mana, which is not what we want, right? I think, didn't both my rings have mana? No, this has mana though. We have 2 items with mana, which is kind of awkward, but again, like this is decent gear, but most of this gear, it was like a divine or less, right? So our first real big purchase was like the gem, the jewel. But anyway, it's got resists, which we want. It's got chaos res, and cold res, and a teeny bit of life that it rolled, which is fine. But it's funny because I needed like 1 chaos res to cap to 75, and so I was able to quality this guy to get just enough resistance to get it capped out, which is pretty cool. So for rings, things that I'm looking for are life and resists. One of the neat things is you can get evasion on rings, and evasion counts towards your armor, so rings can actually be another source of armor, which is sweet. But we have, yeah, life, resists, and, you know, evasion. You could get more damage here. You can get strength here, which is more life, basically. Strength is really only life for us at this point, but if I wanted to go Giant's Blood, we're going to need about double my strength, so there's that. For my armor, you really want, like, a giga armor on your chest piece, maybe even to the point of sacrificing life on your chest and shield, if you're going to do that shield, the shield damage style, which I'm not doing yet, but I like life here, but yeah, we could just get armor. That would be nice to have like gigaton of armor. This has like the flat percent hybrid with the percent on it, which puts us at a decent amount of armor, but you can get a lot of armor, and because you get the points here for 80% increased body armor, and then 50% more armor from body armor, I think you might be worth sacrificing life on that. But anyway, what I have now is some resists. Armor applies to elemental damage taken. Life and armor. Could just be armor, though. And that's probably pretty dang good. For my gloves, so I have gloves that are like this, where it's just like a ton of armor, life, resists, and then armor applies to elemental damage, but we're experimenting with the all melee skills. These are high life, decent armor, attack speed you can get on gloves too. I love attack speed. With a little bit of resist, which is good. The belt right now is armor belt with life. You'd like to have that be increased flask life recovery rate, which is cool. Capping my resist with belt as well and getting a little bit of life regen. Life regen's fine. Maybe you don't need it as bad now because you have the Giga Jewel, but I mean flat regen's cool too. We have the regen on the chest piece as well. And then boots. We're doing this thing where we get attack speed on our weapons and gloves, and so we don't really need movement speed because we're just leaping everywhere, which lets you get more armor, right? So that's pretty sweet. Life, armor, and resists. Armor applies to elemental damage taken. The same thing that you're seeing on like every piece of gear. It continues there. The weird thing is no movement speed. The good thing about no movement speed is it's going to make those boots cost a whole lot less, which is nice because people love movement speed. I like movement speed just fine, but if you're leaf slamming all over the place, the movement speed isn't really helping you that much. And I find myself, even with good boots, I feel like I still leaf slam all over the place anyway. This ended up being cool. A lot of elemental damage added. Interesting. But that, oh yeah, and then we have my flasks. I really like to have flasks that heal you for a percentage, like 25% recovered immediately, because that way you can spam it and like just get your health up and get out of a sketchy situation. But the charges gained per second is a great mod to have, and and then mana flask. We don't even use a mana flask. I could probably unequip it. That'd probably be fine too. We're just equipping it. We have it equipped for flavor, I guess, at this point. Maybe I will unequip it. Just show it who's boss. And then for my charms, I only have 3 charms because we have the belt that only has 1. So we have the stun immunity, and the stun removal, and the freeze removal. I don't know how much we get stunned anymore, but I really don't like to get stunned because if you get stunned, you might be dead. So I don't like to get stunned. And of course, you don't like to get frozen. But in terms of my Atlas, I've tried different things. I kind of just went back to what I liked before, where it's good map sustain, precursor buffs, which is great. And then I went over here just for like more waystone quantity and some rarity, but I really like this stuff. We go for a ton of pack size and a ton of like magic pack size, rare pack size. We probably could do a little bit of waystone drops just 'cause I like having lots of maps to run, and I don't like running maps that are like temp chains, extra chaos damage. I'm just like, man, can you not? Like, damage penetrates LE resistance, can you not? So just don't do that. So I go here. And I'm doing shrines again. I like shrines and strong boxes. Just adds a bunch of mobs to the map. Shrines can be annoying when the mobs get the shrine and they make them do like way more damage, but kill the mobs, take the shrine, go from there. Don't be trying to sit there click the shrine because it'll get you killed. But anyway, we have those now because you get 1 speed shrine and it's like 3 minutes of just like bliss, just leap bone shattering the universe at Mach speed. So lots and lots of shrines. Makes the maps go by really fast and smooth, and then just a little bit of strong box juice just to add a couple more mobs to the map if you wanted to. I thought essences were actually pretty cool. Essences are pretty good. They don't all sell for a whole lot. Some of them sell for some exalts, but if you like crafting yourself, essences are awesome. And then that's pretty much where I'm at. We've done King of the Mist. We have 1 more King of the Mist to do, but this is where I'm at with my talents for this. I'll probably go up here eventually. We've done only 1 Delirium, but I like it when the maps drop with the instills on them already. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do there. We've killed some bosses. We went for quantity and then essence for now, but maybe I'll respec into shrines. Now that we're doing shrines, huh? Yeah. Forget them essences. Give me them shrines, baby. We'll go one-shot the boss. And then I haven't found Olroth 1 time, but we'll maybe have some logbooks. Maybe we can go do it. And then Zesh, we've killed him at all 3 ranks, and we've got some good density with the things opening and closing faster. So I think that runs through just about where we're at. My plan today is to, grind it out for the evening. I guess we'll end up posting an update for you guys tomorrow morning. But my character is very much in flux. But I think we did the leveling to the point where I'm like, okay, that's great. Let's see what we can do now to sort of make use of some of what we farmed, buy some of these interesting items, and do some kind of interesting end game interactions to push the guy even further. But you don't need to really push for this until, you're ready, until you've made enough stuff. But I mean, the build that we've done before takes us to T15 maps and beyond. We were doing, like, you know, delirious T15 maps. We killed T3 Zesht with, like, you know, the leveling style, where before we did all this, like, pathing and all this weirdness up here and all this down here. We were just kind of packed in tight, getting our armor applies to elemental damage reduction, and just handling business, and that was fine. But now it's time for us to spread our wings and travel a little bit. I love not traveling on Titan. Just getting some nice dense nodes and just having them all buffed up is great. But we're gonna experiment with this. But you know, I wasn't planning on making a build update today because I didn't want to necessarily bait you guys into something that's not gonna be effective. But it seems okay if you guys are interested. I haven't talked about the build in a while. Still completely obsessed with Path of Exile 2. We're just also making sure we weave in WoW and doing other games like that. But we're gonna get started for the night. We're gonna grind it out and see if we get 95 and kill some bosses, have some fun. If you guys are ever wanting to see us live, you can tune in on twitch.tv/Bajheera. We also stream on YouTube. Keep showing the videos love. We got drops coming. We got giveaways tonight. That'll be fun too. And we'll keep having fun with PoE too. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's get to work. Peace.